to this game, although you've got to say the West Coast have lost all 9 interstate games this year. They've failed to score 100 points on any one occasion. It's going to be a mammoth task for them this afternoon, Michael Voss.
Yes, it certainly
Did you get a degree of confidence here from your coach?
Oh, mate, he's going all right. Don't worry about that. But look, it is a challenge for them, and they've stated that they want to pit some of these young players against the more experienced Cats to be able to give them an experience that they won't forget and a realisation of where they're at coming into a pre-season. But there is still a round to go, and they do have 120 minutes of competition, so you'd expect them to fight it out.
So about to get underway here, round 22, Geelong versus West Coast, and Cox wins it first tap out to Selwood, off to Butler. Gee, he was slow getting boot the ball there. Varco did well. Bartel now, inside attacking 50. Loose ball, well done Gamble, just knocked it on. Mooney can kick a goal within seconds. Couldn't find the handle. Gee, poor play there. Glass dives in on top of the football. McKenzie couldn't quite pick the footy up. Steve Johnson doesn't miss these. Couple of seconds, Cats on the board. And let's hope that's not an example of what's to come, Malcolm. 28 seconds for the opening goal into the wind.
Yes, and it could have been even quicker had Mr. Mooney not missed it. But look, that's okay. It was a good get out the middle. Great tackle from Varco on the line through the middle there, and Steve Johnson, as he can, just casually on the left foot and beautifully screwed around.
Straight away. Straight up, just look straight up at it, jump to the footy.
Well, a predictable start. Geelong a goal inside, not just the first minute, the first half minute. Tough day ahead for the West Coast Eagles. Cox against Ottens here. Ablett takes it at the base. Chapman and the cap machine away. He was a little ambitious there. Johnson now working his way into midfield. Bartel, it was slickly done out of the middle. And here's Lonigan with the chance. Can he straighten? No, he can't. Ottens can. And 1-1 to nothing.
And here's an attack on the ball. Gamble. Just fantastic forward pressure. Hunts the ball up not once but twice. That's the intent. He wants a spot come finals time. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's quite right.
Well, what's happened back at the game is that Bo Wilkes has stepped outside the 10-metre square, so couldn't have been a worse start for the West Coast. So we'll get a bounce at the top of the goal square, and another opportunity here for Geelong. Cox and Ottens. Ottens wins it down, and well done by the West Coast defence. They force it through for a rush behind. So 1-2 early. Just sense the Geelong crowd smelling blood, Malcolm, early doors.
Yeah, as we watch this in replay, yeah, I tend to agree with that. But just over, but just over's not good enough, is it?
Even on, I think, is not good enough, is it?
Supposed to be inside, yeah.
This is McKenzie in the back pocket for the Eagles. Giving it to Cox. Now West Coast trying to control possession of the ball and see if they can take it forward with the wind. Lacroix goes for territory, and in fact gains more than he might have expected as it beat the pack. Enright, Armstrong wearing him closely, taking him with the ball over the line. Yes, a day for ponchos. Not allowed to use umbrellas, of course, inside the crowded grounds these days. Here's Lynch having some success as an on-baller, but straight to Bartel. Harley, Bartel, Enright poking it carefully for Taylor. Young Western Australian to run onto it. He'll need a warming cognac at the end of the day today. What a clever kick that was. Perhaps a bit of good fortune about it to Hunt. Chapman arriving, but Stenglein ties it up now. The umpire has called for a ball up. Stenglein not lying on it, he was under it. And usually they're a bit more generous in that situation.
And going there with Paul Chapman, so that's that'll be a good matchup. Stenglein and Chapman, there they are at it now.
Chapman can't get the handball.
Yeah. Going out of also off the ball, and they're all coming after him also. Selwood, all the Cats coming over to back up their man.
So Fletcher now, well tackled by Ottens, going nowhere. Gee, the tackling early by the Cats ferocious.
Since Ottens has been back in the tiny side, he's actually gradually got better as his second efforts. That is super when a big fella can do that. Puts enormous pressure on the opposition.
Ottens knocks it forward again, taken though by Butler. Oh gee, Hicks it very high, gains about 20 metres. Fist coming from Enright. Joel Selwood. Well done, Stingline, standing in the way and gets a free kick. No, it's against him for the fend. So a Geelong free kick, and it'll come back to Joel Selwood. No one initially on the mark, although Stingline comes to it, but Ottens just drifts into space at half forward. Plenty of time to gather from 49, easily around Emily to the goal square. In fact, to the pocket. Steve Johnson almost. Gee, they're fighting under pressure. Nikoski just scrambles the ball clear towards half-back. Pritis leads in the race. And with Cameron Ling just corralling him, he kicks high to the wing. Milburn couldn't control it. Dean Cox floating at the back. Handball to Hanson. In the way, though, Taylor. Hanson did well to fight on. Forced the ball clear. Bartel, good handball to close quarters. Taylor, Joel Selwood. Little fumble from Enright in the conditions. Scarlett, Ablett now at half-back. He'll do something constructive. Kicks to space, and Ottens another chance.
He's getting a lot of loose ball at the moment. He's had a couple of shots towards goal for just one poster. Harley, the skipper, in his second year as captain, and what a time it's been. Ling, Johnson, busy early, swinging it long in the Lonigan direction, led to the ball by Wilkes, well met by Joel Selwood. Good tackle by Scott Selwood.
Second effort.
Joel Selwood. Now Enright. Johnson again. Now Milburn. And Mooney on the end of it. Last caught, 2 metres behind.
Just composure all the way through that, wasn't it? You can just see a team in the top of its form, just using the ball, not panicking. With some good ground balls there got by the Geelong players, and eventually just the beautiful chip. It's a key kick, Michael, isn't it? Running, let a player run onto the mark rather than try and kick it at him.
30 disposals to 8, not through overuse, simply through domination. From 40 into the wind. It's another miss. Cats by 9 points.
Cameron Mooney hasn't kicked as many goals as last year. In fact, 44 in season 2008. He kicked 67 last year, but does lead the competition in goal assists. As the kick comes in, and the umpire doesn't pay it to Adam Selwood. Well done, Glass. Wilkes trying to get it to Emily. Good pressure, though, coming from Joel Corey. And he does well to tie it up. Umpire letting it go. Fletcher emerges. And now a chance for Butler, but always under pressure, the West Coast. Taylor did well to pick it up. Milburn, well tackled. Dubious looking handball, but it's okayed by the umpire. Butler pushed off the football. Now Ling, Milburn, Ablett, look out. Oh, he's interfered, but he'll get the free kick.
She's great pressure there, wasn't it? That was good play from both teams there. They're up a bit, the Eagles, Bossy, I reckon. I mean, they're actually trying to put pressure on.
Yeah, they've come with intent.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Ablett getting himself into trouble, and Cooley out of it. Taylor just a little careless with the kick. Ling, Burns, the late inclusion. Nothing there to kick the ball to. Spun it off the outside of his boot. Straight to Scott Selwood. Now McNamara for the Eagles. Pinned in the back pocket. Hung in the air a little uncomfortably for Fletcher. Yeah, no 50 paid, and the umpires have been liberal early. Here's Pritis for West Coast, just beaten to the ball though by Burns. Cox was held by the jumper, and it's rightly paid by umpire Jeffrey. The ball will come back.
There's about 20 guys running around the footy at the moment. It's pretty hard to get a kick, actually. It's they're certainly trying to man up, the Eagles. I guess John Worsfold's style in their great, the premiership years and grand final years. They very accountable football one-on-one, and they're doing that at the moment.
There's an edge of ruthlessness, though, about Geelong, and when you think about Mark Thompson's words from last week, as Butler backing back takes a good mark. The last thing he'd want is for the Cats to be getting themselves into any bad habits on the eve of the final. So I reckon they'll be playing this as though it is a final. And if that means taking the Eagles out by a very big margin, so be it. Nikoski, good kick, finds Armstrong. Still 80 from goal, and the Eagles haven't seriously threatened yet. From behind, McKinley was trying to box Harley out, but he couldn't move him. And the Cats hunt take it to the line for a throw in.
How good was that punch? All he did was put a fist out like a little tomahawk rather than a big swing. It was a great punch.
And half-time in the other match, look at that. Port Adelaide comfortably 18 points in front of North Melbourne. So that fourth spot certainly not bundled up at the moment. Chance for Cox. He dives on the football. Well done, though, by Corey. Got it clear. Good commitment from Scott Selwood. Well, Scarlett try to get it to Chapman. Here's a chance for the Eagles. Lacroix, good handball. Prittis kicks goalward, and the mark's taken. McKinley's got it just 7 metres from goal. Angle reasonably acute, but he's proved to be a very accurate goal kicker so far this season for the West Coast. In fact, he's kicked 30 goals, 9 from set shots. 40 goals in all for Ben McKinley. So you can see the angle there. Just a little check side, and he'll be disappointed with that. First score of the afternoon for the West Coast Eagles.
Well, they worked hard for it.
Yeah,
You mentioned the one-on-one before. They had all their numbers back. They decided to follow all their players deep into their forward line, and they're able to turn the ball over and get a shot on goal. So they're the times you've got to capitalise.
Absolutely. I thought McKinley could almost just done a straight drop punt then. He was close enough, wasn't it? It was, if you just kick up and follow through, probably didn't need to check side it, really.
They do it almost instinctively now, don't they? Cats into the wind, having the better of it here, but the Eagles on the board now. This is Blake, who started on the bench, giving to Scarlett, forcing Prisnell to run for it and then drop the mark, which lets in Lynch. If he'd shaken them free there, he would have been a chance from that range. Prittis might be yet, although now he's got numbers against him. Harley did well for Scarlett. Burns in trouble, giving it up. Hanson has the snap, kicks the Eagles' first goal from a Geelong error.
Well, Ashley Hanson, of course, one of the more senior players now, although he's missed a lot of footy with injury. And here's Scarlett. Gives it Burns in a bit of trouble here and misses the target under pressure. And, well, it was the old 1-2, but just didn't work.
And pressure, you still handle the ball more.
Yeah.
You're still susceptible to pressure no matter how good you are.
Of course.
So Ashley Hanson with the first goal for West Coast. 11 minutes in, just 2 points the difference. So the Eagles, the last 3 or 4 minutes, certainly have had a bit of the football. Cox to do battle with Blake. Cox wins it brilliantly to Butler, who wobbles it inside attacking 50. Ball to the back. Chance for Embley. Playing up forward this afternoon. Left foot snap, and can you believe it? The West Coast are in front. Andrew Embley, the 2006 Norm Smith medalist, who's played predominantly in defence across half-back this season, up forward inside the attacking 50, and a lovely piece of play.
Look how far that ball carried. Just a quick kick under pressure out the centre, which I still think's the best play in football in Trina, trying to finesse it. All of a sudden, the ball's carried further than most players thought. It must have gone a good 65 metres, and it fell luckily to Embley.
Fair dinkum, unbelievable. The Eagles are in front.
Yeah, there's a fair breeze there, and that's, I mean, if you can win your share of the centre in this environment, I mean, it's not that close to the goals, not that far to the goals.
That was the man who used to be known as Geelong's last premiership coach, Bobby Davis.
And
For the uninitiated.
We talk about intent. I've been watching Selwood. He's really trying to take that contest.
50.
And he's got Ablett frustrated. Selwood's been doing it for the last 10 minutes. And Ablett is reacting to the situation. And he's set the standard early for the Eagles. And Ablett has retaliated.
We'll call it a skirmish so far rather than a melee.
He's had a little, and we called John Worsfold before the game about the little wins. This is a little win because Selwood is getting in the head of Ablett.
For a third goal in as many minutes, and the Eagles have it. And they kick to a 10-point lead.
Yeah, well, it's one of those free kicks that is paid regularly now. And this is where the little bit happens after. I mean, it's true that Seaby actually grabbed him first, but the retaliator got caught.
So a goal to Adam Selwood, and there haven't been too many times this year where we've said the West Coast have kicked 3 goals in 3 minutes, but that's what they've done so far this afternoon. Chance for Seaby. Almost tried to hand it back to McNamara. Nikoski, who's wrapped up going nowhere, so a bounce.
Look, I want to just elaborate a little bit with Selwood and Ablett. You'll see them just behind the contest there. Look at Selwood trying to get the body contest all the time. He's trying to stop the run. He's also trying to stop the block, and they're going for it. And you just see him stop the run of Ablett. Just a great contest and just providing that body pressure. And as a leader of that group, he's trying to set a standard early for the rest of his players.
Oh, it's all happening. Butler's got the job on Joel Selwood, and a Geelong free kick here. It'll come back to Blake. And hands off to Joel Selwood, and Geelong can go forward. Decides to kick it deep. Wide to Ottens, and Ottens marks in front of his face. 40 metres from goal. Tough kick from there. Kicking into the wind, although it just seems to have dropped a little in the last 5 or so minutes, the strength of the wind.
Bit of brotherly love.
Yeah.
In the backyard, I'm sure that's happened a few times. A little bit worse, I would thought.
How did you go? Just as Ottens was playing against Brett, your brother.
Yeah, emotionally it was tough at times.
So Brad Ottens, gee, got a fair chunk of that. He kicked a goal. Wonderful kick for goal from Brad Ottens. Wasn't an easy shot, but he puts the Cats back to within 4 points.
Actually, the start of this game's been, I think it's been of reasonable quality. I mean, considering the conditions, you've seen some really tight stuff. You've seen some good kicking like this. You've seen a bit of aggro, and right now this is a pretty bright start to a game of footy, round 22.
Mum and Dad Selwood watching the kids have a bit of a barney.
Yes, I remember after one of our games I played with Brett, Mum rang me up later and said, have you got an issue with your brother?
Must be hard. It's one of those anomalies, I guess, the drafting procedure now compared to the old days. All the brothers used to play together, of course.
It's tough for Mum and Dad to kiss 3 of them goodbye, send 2 to Perth, 1 to Brisbane. Joel at least is only down the road in Geelong. There's another 50 here. The discipline breaking down from the Cats. Steve Johnson ran through the mark, and Chad Fletcher will line them up for the Eagles' 4th. And again, out of the centre, the 50 brings the goal shooter to within about 30.
Well, West Coast have been able to generate. They've actually got Geelong reacting.
Yeah.
They've decided to get in the face of the opposition, and they're biting back.
Now he's hooked it a little, but it's held its line enough. And the Eagles have their 4th.
You just wonder, there's been 2. That's really a minor penalty. I mean, he was going to pick up his man.
He was stiff, wasn't he?
He was stiff, yeah. I mean,
Very.
Hey, what do you do? You know, if I was the umpire, I'm not sure I would have played that. You almost would have let him go.
Fletcher, the goal kicker, takes a break with Dean Cox back in the centre. Eagles doing very well.
Yeah.
Early stages at Skilled Stadium. Prentice kicks to half forward. In front, Armstrong couldn't quite hold on. Oh, gee, Lynch gave away a free kick there. Just a little overzealous. And
Michael, just in the centre bounce. There's no one on the forward side for Geelong. West Coast are hitting back there. They're getting flogged in the middle, Geelong. They've got to get a player on the attacking side of the centre bounce. Otherwise, they'll be behind by more.
so Joel Selwood finds Byrne, who ran hard. And kicks it short. Mark taken by Prismal. Just the attacking side of the wing. Brent Prismal. Back to Selwood. Joel Selwood for Geelong. Kicks to Ling. West Coast have got numbers back here, just crowding the attacking 50 for the Cats. He decides to kick long in. Ottens couldn't quite hold on, got hands to it certainly first. Oh dear. It was perhaps there. Free kick to Gamble. Didn't think there was much in that. And Ryan Gamble will kick from 35 metres directly in front. As we watch it again.
I thought Ottens probably did more damage than...
No, I don't think that was a free kick.
That one. I think that was Certainly incidental contact. Of course, it was probably to the letter of the law, it was high. Yeah, but almost the player forced his body into him, didn't he? Yeah. So it was one of those really tough ones that, well, they come in all shapes and forms, and this one's probably called a soft one.
So Gamble will kick from directly in front to kick Geelong's third goal. Gee, he gets reasonably close to the man on the mark, but pops it through. The Cats back to within 4 points. And Ryan Gamble, his 21st goal of the season, playing game number 13.
You know, the law book is no less flexible on those issues than it is on hands in the back. It says any contact above the shoulder is prohibited contact.
Let's have a look here. This is the centre bounce just about to start. They've had a problem, Geelong. They haven't had anyone over this other side. Guess who's gone there now? Ling. They should get back into winning mode out of the centre. They've had no one on this side for the last 5 bounces. What's this?
Eagles by 4 points. They've won the last 4 clearances out of the centre.
Well, we've got a contest at least. I don't believe you can actually take a punt like that. I don't care how good you are, Voss. I reckon you're opening yourself up to the vagaries of a bounce, and I don't reckon you should. Cover as many points as the pumpers as you can.
Well, good win by Geelong, but in fact, now it reverses, but they come out with a free kick.
It's the first one they've generally won for a while, Tim.
Oh, Chapman there for the hand pass, but not quite ready when it came. Corey to Ling. Koski with him. Varco roving. Spanger got rid of him and holds it up for the Eagles.
Look, pressure from behind is absolutely critical against Geelong, because that's where they like to set up their play. They push back and then they spread wide, and that's what West Coast have been able to generate pretty well so far. The question, of course, always against a team like this is, can you do it for 120 minutes?
Chapman was holding, and it's a free kick to Stengline.
It's a lot of whistles, a lot of free kicks.
Taylor makes the spoil on Cox and forces a throw-in on the wing. Eagles by 5 points. At 2/3 of the way through the opening term. As ever, the Cats chalking up lots of possessions. But the Eagles holding their own on the board.
Ottens. Well, Chapman had his head ripped off. No free kick this time. And was pushed in the back. Play on the call. Cat fans don't like it. He goes back in, Paul Chapman. Tries to find it.
Throwing themselves in.
There's a whistle.
Both teams.
Oh, it's on again.
More argy-bargy.
Umpires need to be a little careful here. Stengline with the free kick. On centre wing. So the Eagles really taking it up to Geelong. Up to Schofield. Kicks right down the middle, looking for Lynch through his hands, and a free kick chopping at the arms or too high. Now the Eagles have played on, but it must come back.
That's to advantage, you think?
Well, he took his eye. I watched the umpire, then he actually took his eye off where the ball was going.
He's got to be a chance from here, doesn't he?
He's taken the glove off.
65 metres from goal, but he does have the benefit of a breeze that is at his back. It's not as strong as it was at the start of the game, but certainly will be assisting him.
He took the glove off as soon as he knew the kick was his.
A little bit wetter.
Michael, I can tell you, there's been many a goal kick from that point out here on training nights, I can tell you.
So here he is. Oh, gee, he kicked it a long way back from the mark and touched right on the goal line. He could have ran probably another 3 metres closer to the man on the mark, but behind to the West Coast.
He was like a long jumper, well behind the board, wasn't he? And gave up many centimetres. Hunt, Milburn, Bartel, Stokes down in the back half. There's a Geelong free kick if they wanted. Stokes is happy to go on. Burns off an accommodating bounce. Open front half for the Cats. Gamble. Oh, there was contact over the shoulder there from Wilkes from behind. And it's a free kick. Cat fans think about time. They reckon they've been a bit hard done by early. To Ling. Now the long ball. Varco out of position. Might open the door here. Johnson arriving. And he's copped it in the back as he got his body over the ball.
Good call, Tim. Exactly what he did. And that's where experience, you can't buy that, can you? Just knowing you're not going to get hurt, turning your body, putting yourself in a vulnerable position. And this is just smart. I'll get in his way. Bingo.
And it presents him with a pretty easy shot directly in front. Steve Johnson doesn't miss those. The Cats are back in front.
Yes, and as much as you can test these Cats, they have been outplayed a little bit early through the middle part of that quarter. But we come 5 minutes to go, they're back in front. Just sort of says what a great team that they are. They can weather all storms.
Good lesson for Ryan Davis there to actually go at the footy and try and get your body in between that and the opposition, rather than just fall and try and build it on the ground. Keep your feet.
Steve Johnson has a couple of goals. Cats back in front. They lead by a point. Cox and Blake. Blake looks at Cox as he crossed the square, and Chapman held a long time in the tackle, and ball must come back.
Well, there's a rule there also, Blighty. You mentioned about keeping your feet. There's also probably another side of things that if you are going to go to ground, then you go in lower than your opponent.
Yeah.
So you either keep your feet or go in lower.
So Chapman high towards half forward. Stokes flies off. Front and centre was Steve Johnson. Couldn't get boot the ball. Good stuff from Stenglein. Put his body in. And Schofield does well. Get rid of it, son. He does just in time. Adam Selwood grab. And there's a free kick coming. It'll come to Adam Selwood. He plays on quickly.
Great contest.
Embley couldn't take it. Good stuff from Corey, and Burns off to Prismal. And mark taken by Lonigan at right half forward. Off to Steve Johnson into the pocket, and it's got to come back, I think. And
Free kick that look. Fell off the ball.
so against Adam Selwood, and Geelong fans are very happy about it. A lot of them realise what's happening. They do now. So Gary Ablett from 45 with an opportunity to extend this Geelong lead. What a star he's been so far in season 2008. The Brownlow medal favourite from 45 metres. Pulls the kick. And Dean Cox does well, just lets it go over his head. So free kick out on the full for the West Coast.
Yeah, a bit of a skippy start there, didn't he? It was almost like from the Bulldogs now.
Scott Welsh.
Yeah, a bit of a hop, skip and a jump.
He's had a frustrating first quarter. Has Selwood. That's beautiful mark for Bartel.
How good's that?
That's not 15, and Milburn has to go, and the hand pass was smothered by Fletcher. Collected by Enright. Good delivery to Blake. Is he off? Oh, he's just about gone. Is that 15? Steve Johnson is awarded the mark.
Gee, Blake's got better as a year, hasn't he?
He played on, he'd gone sideways, so the umpire called play on that kick. And the Cats have turned it up. Prittis, now there's nothing there. 2-on-1 though, Geelong look to have it covered. Harley, good bounce. Makes it comfortable for him. Goes for Prismal. Just didn't quite get the kick right. So there's a throw in.
Talk about great players. Watch this. Back, hard, high, didn't take his eyes off it. What a wonderful overhead mark he is. Class all over.
Lynch, well done Bartel, there he is again involved. This time the kick wide. He did pretty well under pressure to get it over, so a boundary thrown at half forward for West Coast.
Michael, about the Eagles, you hope your on-ballers go for marks, like Bartel. You shouldn't coach that out of blokes.
No, if you've got fresh air between you and the ball, you go for it.
Correct.
Spanger, he's got the footy but going nowhere, so a bounce 40 metres from the Eagles' goal.
You know, it takes courage to leave the ground to jump. There's a lot of blokes actually worry about that.
Ottens. He pushed in the back. Dean Cox fighting hard for West Coast. Enright knocks it towards Stokes. Good pressure coming from Fletcher. And Stokes is happy to see it over. So,
after I broke my leg on Shane Parker's hip, I was a little concerned after that, Blighty.
Big pack of players around this ball. There's Cox and Ottens to do battle again. Ottens doing well his second efforts. Off to Corey. Ling feeds it back to Milburn, who chips, and Bartel, clever mark, one-hander. He's got it at the half-back and playing exceptional football in the early stages, coming in for his 9th disposal, Jimmy Bartel.
And his charge to Brownlow contention continues here 9 possessions in the first quarter. You'd say he's been the best out there. Cats work it around in defence. Darren Milburn. Controlled left foot pass. Prismal. Johnson. Been good in the first quarter. 2 goals. A lot of the footy. Cleverly done by Lonigan to Taylor. Now Gamble. That was quick reflex. Lonigan. Mooney on the lead. Just couldn't hang on. Davis collects the spill. Glass. Lynch. Down the back. Just got the kick before the contact. Straight to Taylor. Johnson again. Miscued it, but he's got that magic touch. He gets it back. He gets it back again. He gives it off again. Ling, where's Johnson for another go? Enright now. Maybe too far on the left. Sprays it on the line. I reckon there'll be a throw-in.
There was a shot at goal there somewhere, cleaner than that, but I'm not quite. Steve Johnson just he wanted to pull the kick. I'm not quite sure what he's. The ball's a bit slippery. That's why you're seeing a few kicks like that. If you don't hit the middle of your boot, you're in trouble.
Wrestle there. Neither ruckman got involved as Pritis kicks it clear, and Butler marks at half back for West Coast. Sam Butler, just his 5th game of the season. Off to Davis. Ryan Davis off the rookie list, chips it short. Adam Selwood, who's got amongst it for West Coast this afternoon. Target is Hansen, but ball to the back, and it's all Geelong. Chance for Milburn. Good time just to assess options, and kicks it inside. Ottens off to Ablett. Here they go. Loves charging at the defence. Gary Ablett kicks it wide. Mooney, well done, Glass. Got a fist in there, then found it at ground level. Well done by the captain. Can he find a target now inside attacking 50? McKinley's got it. And Ben McKinley will kick from 40 metres on a slight angle. Great stuff from Darren Glass. The spoil and then the recovery. And this, in the shadows of quarter time, to put the West Coast in front. 30 goals, 10 now from set shots, but got a lovely relaxed action. And he's missed again. So, scores level.
Here's the attack on the ball, straight at it, follows it up, and then takes off. Had the free teammate further up the field.
As the rain falls lightly, the first quarter draws towards an end. The Eagles have had the wind. Scores level. But they could be pretty well pleased. They're just pressing for one more tilt at it. Geelong, though, will hold them up, and that is quarter time. 4 goals apiece, honours even.
Well, you can't get it more even than that, can you?
Like a great player, he usually bounces back.
Yep.
Well, he's fiery, but you know he's got the wonderful support of the teammates around him. But that's what makes him a great player too, his competitive instincts.
All locked up at quarter time. Second quarter underway. Corey off to Joel Selwood.
That player's all right too.
Chips across the ground. Now, umpires plucked a free kick out from somewhere. It's a long free kick. So Gamble kicks towards half forward. Good work there from Stenglein, who's got the job on Paul Chapman this afternoon. And he forces a boundary throw in between wing and half forward for the Cats. So Ottens props in front. Lynch reaches over this time. In dispute. Ablett, brilliant. Kept his balance. Back to Joel Selwood, who kicks very close to the line. And Wilkes touched it. Would have been better advised to let it go, but couldn't. And we'll get a boundary throw in half forward for Geelong.
I must say the ground's in very good nick, isn't it? I mean, it's going to be a bit slippery because of the drizzly rain, but you couldn't get a better surface at the moment.
Lynch doing the roving for the Eagles as the throw-in beat the big men. Hansen having to go the spoil. Taylor beat him well. Ling hoping for Bartel. McKinley saw it coming and stole it. And goes in hard with a second effort, but he's got the field against him. And it'll be a ball up.
Well, this bit of drizzle, I mean, this could be a finals game next week, isn't it? So these boys are going to be, we know they can play in the dry as we look at a free kick here. But it's probably going to help Geelong, isn't it? Just another facet of the game, the drizzle.
You don't think it hurts him to have that hard clash?
No.
Get a few bumps and bruises.
Scott Selwood receiving from Pritis. Cats back in numbers, so the Eagles retreat for the moment. Embley.
Getting close, Malcolm. Port Adelaide's lead now 34 over North Melbourne.
It's not 6 yet. When it's 36, you worry.
Eric McKenzie for West Coast. Giving it to Woods.
And Scott Selwood has ran very hard. Very hard. He started on this wing and he's just about to receive it. So he started this play going backwards and he's run over the other side of the ground. Great running.
Dean Cox. So the Eagles just playing possession here, being careful. Needing to try and stamp themselves on this second quarter now that they're kicking into the wind. Rory Enright, what a great player he is for the Cats, but Lynch letting him go nowhere. And so there'll be a ball up.
So the umpire doesn't waste any time. Ottens, beautiful tap down to Joel Selwood, who got it to Milburn. Now leading the Cats away, deep towards the goal square. Steve Johnson, well done by Schofield. He's paid the mark. I thought Schofield got the fist in there, but the umpire has paid the mark to Steve Johnson. He'll kick from just 25 metres, as good as directly in front.
Be an interesting one to study in slow-mo.
Look at the tap from Ottens. Now Steve Johnson shouldn't have too many problems from here. He pops it through. The Cats beat by 6. Johnson's kick 3.
And currently that was just absolute precision footy. The way they moved the ball. First hands, Selwood splits the gap. They're off and racing. Dean Cox, who's standing in the hole, has no influence on this contest whatsoever. It's one-on-one. Too good.
I think it was both hands. I think he's done that. No, it's his ball.
That's a mark.
That's it, certainly is.
Steve Johnson, 3 goals. Just 2 or 3 minutes into the third quarter. Prentice winning out of the middle for the Eagles. Hanson wasn't going to get a second bite at that as it flew out to Armstrong. McKinley in the good position. Beautifully done against Harley. Oh, that was classy. The Eagles hit back.
Once again, it was a centre work at Geelong. I keep repeating it, but this, as we see the good work up forward by McKinley, but really was a centre work with a bounce. There's no one on that forward side again for the for Geelong, and they've absolutely got flogged out of the middle. Great, yeah, it was good use of the body over an experienced player.
.41 goals for Ben McKinley. Great return from a young player. Ottens wins it down to Ling. Ling jabs it on the boot, wobbles it towards half-forward. Mooney slipped through his hands, slippery football, glass mops up. Wasn't a great handball, made Schofield work for it, but he was able to get boot to ball. Armstrong and Enright arriving. Bartell couldn't take it. Armstrong, not a great handball. In fact, it went straight to Ling. He's brilliantly tackled though by Prentice, tied up. And we'll get a bounce to the attacking side of the wing for West Coast. 33 apiece. The Eagles have made a very good account of themselves here. Ablett takes it over. And this strategy of John Worsfold, Vossi, just to basically play one-on-one. When one of them comes off, a Cats player comes off, well, so does their opponent.
Yeah, and Butler's got Bartell, and you've got Embley on Corey, and Selwood's taking Ablett, and they're just creating those one-on-one contests. You've still got to be good enough to be able to stop them, though.
Joel Selwood off to Wattens. Wasn't a great handball to Taylor, who fumbled. He was in trouble. Dragged off it by Fletcher. Ball out the back. Lynch hatches it. And the umpire calls for it. Been impressed with the level of intensity shown by West Coast. They've really taken it up to the Cats. Houghton's doing well in the ruck. Fletcher just ran into a couple. Steve Johnson concedes ground. Joel Selwood getting a lot of the football. And the mark's taken by Taylor at half back. Off to Ablett. Now the run. Ling through the corridor. Scarlett hasn't got a runner to his outside. He was looking for one, so he decides to just do it himself. Drives it deep. Cox in a great spot here, and he marks strongly.
Lonergan going the spoil, but very well taken by the big man. McKenzie there with him, getting himself in a bother. Was a legitimate disposal. might have thought it was, but umpire Jeffrey has cracked the whip. It's a free kick to Lonigan. Not beaten until he was beaten. And he can have a shot at goal from out on the angle. Hasn't kicked one yet. Out near the 50. Good win behind him. And he nails it. Cats in front.
Well, that really came from, well, a nothing. And you're quite right with that wind, Tim. That wind just pushes it back through the middle of the goals there. It's the easiest pocket at all. And I must say, I thought he got a fist on it, but it was inconclusive, and he had time. And if there's any doubt, the umpire played it against him. But a beautiful kick. As I said, that's the side I'd be attacking from.
Not quite. They're out to 6 goals, 32 points at the moment, Malcolm. North Melbourne trail by, so still not any concern from your part as Ottens gets it down to the lane. Deep kick towards Mooney. At the back, Glass fighting him. Chapman. Well, Glass lost his feet, but he did find the football. Well done. And takes it to the line. What's the umpire going to do here? Throw it in, he says. He just done it at the right pace. It just made it over.
Took too long, you reckon, Chris?
Yeah, he just did well enough. Lynch, Stenglein, just panicked to kick a bit with the kick. Chance for Bartel. Well wrapped up though. Well, the umpire's in a perfect spot now. Andrew from the commentary box perhaps didn't show it, but it looked as though the tackle was a good one.
Yeah, just the umpire didn't have any hesitation though, did he?
No. And the free kick against Butler has got the job on Bartel. And Jimmy Bartel will kick from pretty much right on 50 to increase this Geelong lead. Another wonderful season by the Brownlow medalists. 10 goals, 3 from set shots so far in the season. Let's see what he can do from here with the wind at his back. He misses to the right, so margin now 7 points in favour of the Cats.
Now, Chris, you defended Darren Glass's hand pass. I reckon that was about as well disguised as you wearing one of those fake pairs of plastic glasses with a phony beard and moustache. Oh, good mark. Bo Wilkes outpointing the Geelong big men there. So the Eagles are sticking around. Geelong's lead just 7 points.
Yeah, he just moved it too slow. He had Armstrong on the wing, and he's gone there anyway, so he might as well have gone to the one-on-one. Instead, there's a contest.
Cats with numbers here, but the ball eludes them. Schofield in there for West Coast, laying the tackle on Joel Corey. So there will be a throw in. You never know what's going to happen in the final home and away round. We've had one upset in the West. We've got another brewing at the MCG. This would be the mother of all upsets were it to occur. The Eagles are pressing Geelong. Here's Burns releasing Ablett, just slipping away from Adam Selwood and looking to go most of the way. But not quite all of it. It's the Cats by 8 points.
It's always been a tough pocket this side with that bit of a northerly breeze. It just seems to go to that right-hand side, Tim.
That has officially gone from calamity to catastrophe at the MCG, Blighty.
Yeah, you'd have to say it's starting to get worrisome.
See a golden opportunity by North Melbourne. And same opportunity given up by Collingwood last night. Now free kick out of that contest. It'll go Geelong's way.
That was at Geelong's free kick. He signalled the right way there.
He did indeed. He's reversed it, and that's why the Cat fans aren't too happy. So the free kick to Wilkes at half back for the Eagles.
For absolutely no reason at all.
Oh, gee, got himself into all sorts of trouble. Then had to kick it around the body. Butler makes it look good as he marks on his chest just backward of the wing. 8 points to the Geelong lead. Fletcher. Great work from Milburn on the mark. There he is guarding it. Kick to McKinley, who presented well.
And that's what Geelong defence do. When the forwards lead up, they just fold off the back.
Reverse torpedo. Scarlett missed it. Taylor, oh gee, poor handball. He's in trouble now, trying to get it to Blake, who handled it beautifully. Nan had it smothered by Seavey. Chipping in, it was Armstrong. He was well tackled. And a bounce 55 metres from the West Coast goal.
What a commentary about Harry Taylor. in his form and going through him. He's actually been very fumbly today in the slippery conditions. I mean, he's a young player, we know, but just hasn't been clean at all.
Free kick for Endeavour more than anything there for Armstrong. 60 metres from goal. Cats have got numbers back. So he hands off to Nikoski, who drives it deep. At the back, McKinley didn't even look. Lacroix's mark, is there a free kick? Oh, the Cat fans unhappy about that because McKinley just flew into the pack with absolutely no intention to try and mark the ball. Just watch him at the back there. Just cannoning to Harley. Took him out of the contest. And the Cat fans have just seen it on the scoreboard, the replay.
Lacroix pushed him 33 seconds before the ball got there.
So here he is, Mark Lacroix should kick it from 30 metres. He pumps it through and the Eagles back to within a couple of points.
There's the push.
So a lucky one there, you'd have to say, to West Coast.
Actually, that's 4 times I think now we've said either lucky or an unlucky decision by an umpire. We just seem to be having one of those days in the slippery, wet conditions, windy. Yeah, there's been a few disputed ones. And here we are back now. That's number 2 is Mark Lacroix. Watch this push. Watch him push. He's pushed him.
In the side's okay.
Oh, you can't do it within the ball's not within 33 miles.
Good summation, I would have thought.
Geelong free kick. Called from the umpire up in the Geelong forward zone for something in the centre square. There's a good mark to Mooney, and he's got to be a little careful there. Cats do have to be careful, full stop. They don't want to blow their cool here and for any of their players to land in trouble just before the finals. Mooney's kick not finding the range. Blake Johnson. Balls crashed there.
No.
She's another one. Make that 5. Everyone happy with 5?
And 50. There's 50 as well. So it's point blank range for Steve Johnson. Adam Selwood looked to be the offender.
Would like to see this again. Yeah, no, fair call by the umpire. He's in a great position.
No, he did contribute to the high contact.
Well, he ducked his head, Tim. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And that's what the West Coast players are so angry about, and that's why they gave away the 50.
Johnson kicks his 4th goal. It's the Cats by 8 points. Well, they're a little lucky there.
Well, there's another one, Tim. That's another disputed umpiring decision.
Yep.
And it's been weeks since you've actually talked about so many in less than half a game of footy.
Boy, that one there where the player has ducked. We see that where it's paid a lot, where it's too high contact. Sure, the ownership goes on the ball carrier there to maintain position or his body position. As soon as he drops, he's got to accept what's coming at him, surely.
I agree. I think it's a disputed decision, and I'm not quite sure which is right. You've still got to protect the head of the player.
I reckon in that case, the contact to the head was so negligible that Johnson should have been responsible for putting his head down.
So
It should carry some weight.
Absolutely. So Corey's got it now. Deep. Cox versus Mooney. Mooney is able to find it at ground level. Good tackle by Pritis. Just had his jumper. Ling. Wasn't a great handball. Joel Selwood made it look okay. Off to Prismore. Taylor, little initial fumble, but pulls it back across his body and kicks a superb goal. Come on down, Harry Taylor. Well, the Cats have Malcolm had their biggest lead of the afternoon. It's out to 14 points.
And Harry just had a little fumble again as he got this. Watch this. He just got it. But that is the easiest pocket with this breeze, as I've mentioned, to kick a goal from it. Just comes back on the face, floats in beautifully, put 2 fingers up, 6 points to the Catters. You worried, Michael?
Well, I was looking down there earlier. I reckon that post is bent.
That's exactly right.
It's bent.
I know.
It's the left-hand side.
It is.
So it even helps it even more.
Yeah. The grain of the timber on the post is important depending on which the bias of the ball goes through.
Did you get that one?
I'll concentrate on the game. You blokes see if you can work Blighty out. Joel Corey. Beautifully elusive stuff out of the middle, getting it back, giving to Scarlett. Steve Johnson shunted off it by Schofield. Darren Glass showing us the old one-handed pickup. Selwood and McKenzie working it back to Adam Selwood. Harley over the top of Hanson. Joel Selwood just finding a way through the traffic. Prismal now. Long ball, open 50, but Glass in front. No contest.
Can Selwood make the Geelong Selwood make the All-Australian team? He's been terrific. Sure could.
Scott Selwood off to his brother Adam at half-back, and pinpoints Seaby, who marks on centre wing. So the Eagles hanging in there, but need to kick the next goal to continue their confidence. 10-metre kick by Seaby is effective. Embley, who's been pretty quiet, to the attacking 50. Armstrong did well, got rid of Joel Selwood, but just couldn't do the easy bit, and that was take the mark. So a boundary throw in at half forward for West Coast. $14 points, Geelong to the good. Blake in front, gathered by Stengline, off to Lynch, kick around the body. Oh, a couple of fists there. Chance for Taylor. Handball to Enright was good. Back to Taylor. Harley, we missed the mark with the handball, but they've got numbers and plenty of time, or have they? Harley off to Ling, who is forced to kick off one step very high. Corey up high. Chance for Stokes. Seaby, the old handball over the head. Embley. Corey scrambles it forward and downfield, I think. Downfield free kick, and it'll come back to Stokes for the treatment on Joe Corey, who is #1 in the AFL for disposals. Good kick to Ling. And he's marked 55 from goal. Crowd 150, not forthcoming. So Cameron Ling almost being the hunter today, Ling, rather than the hunter, as he kicks to Marco, who drifts down and has marked 30 from goal, pretty much directly in front.
He couldn't kick it long. Seaby, the ruckman for Eagles, had dropped back into a hole, but it was just an intelligent weight with the ball and really kept this side open, Geelong. It was great forward line structure work.
Just lifted the intensity, haven't they, Geelong?
Just
the
a
last
touch.
3 or 4 minutes. That free kick that was paid. Since then, it's been Geelong.
So Varco, who missed last year's grand final, looking to get in this year's grand final side, kicks a goal. Margin out to 20 points now, Malcolm.
Yeah, I had them what, 4 or 5. 5 in front at half time. I had them with this sort of breeze. If they're playing to their best or near their best, it's certainly on line for that to happen. But the Eagles haven't given it up by any means. I mean, they're still in that. They're still having a crack, but bit of class. This is lovely kick.
It's almost like Ling pointed him to run to the space.
Yep.
Cameron Ling setting up Travis Varco for Geelong's 9th goal, and the Cats have now opened some space for the first time of the day and meeting the contest hard and willingly here. Seaby, though, got a little kick out. Bartel. Eagles, though, win the ploughing contest. McCrae getting it off to Armstrong. He was dumped in no uncertain terms. Ablett for Varco. Dry ball, and he had it. Slippery one, and he just couldn't quite find it. Prismal, Bartel, Ling knew he was hot. Got the kick. Floating torp. Wilkes in front. Steve Johnson at the back. Throwing.
And see, I still think Geelong are best in the competition doing that. Under pressure, they're prepared to actually kick it long. I mean, they don't always have to handle. And that was just trusting your teammate down the ground.
Up high, Blake. Third man up. Ablett had it, lost it. Fighting hard at ground level. Hands and knees was Ottens, and eventually finds it out to his fellow ruckman, Blake. Off to Prismal. Wobbles it towards full forward. Was Mooney pushed. Ball bouncing, and Prismal kicked a goal. Cam Mooney perhaps unlucky not to get a free kick there, and you can see him talking to the umpire going, what's going on? But this was the work. the quick kick coming from Prismal. And another goal to the Cats, margin out to 26.
I always find it fascinating how come the great teams have all the luck.
Cameron Mooney thinks the goal should have been his. Wasn't happy that he wasn't awarded a kick for a push in the back. Prismal's kick went all the way. And the Cats are racing away. So is Gary Ablett. Time to have a look and deliver for Lonigan. Wilkes has interfered. An arm chop, presumably. Lonigan's ball. Too far out. Puts it in a good spot. Mooney wrestling this time with Glass. Glass wins the wrestle. Schofield over it for the Eagles. Cool. Stengeline's lost it. Varco. Chapman. Stokes is there for it if he can get it out. Can't. Rushed behind.
So margin 27 points. Paul Chapman just couldn't quite find the handle there. Koski. Oh, through the hands of Butler. Now a chance for Corey. They've got numbers too here, the Cats. Mooney shares it with Gary Ablett, who from 25 metres misses. Wouldn't be happy with that. Margin 28 points.
How do we read the Cats so far today?
Yeah, no, good. I think the Eagles have been as competitive as they've been. Obviously, class is now starting to show. Slippery conditions are helping Eagles, not so for the Cats.
Bo Wilkes taking it over, so throw in. What do you make of Vossi?
Oh, look, I think the Eagles have attacked this game with much vigour. They haven't taken their eyes off the ball. They've been honest in the contest. So that's what Geelong have had to do, beat them in the contest. And they're stepping up as you'd expect them to.
Blake doing the roving for Chapman. High lob. Johnson got it on a string. Stokes wasn't quite expecting that. Wasn't moving forward. The defence parted for him. Varco. Three of them surrounding him. And he misses.
Defence is under serious pressure at the moment. They just have to get the ball out of here.
Well, disposals 181 to 94. Of course, in favour of Geelong. Inside 50s, 26 to 14. Underlining the dominant Scott Selwood. Chips it wide to Stengline. Not much movement ahead of Tyson Stengline, so forced to kick long along the line. Hoping for Seavey or Hansen. Seavey up, couldn't take it. Front and centre, Joel Selwood. Quick little kick. Brilliant pick up on the half volley by Bartell off to Blake. Now Burns. Looks his left side. Back to Joel Selwood. Got a loose player over the top. It's Gamble. Kicks it back to a central location over the head of Priswell. Emily dropped the mark he should have taken. Barco was taken high again. Just an errant arm over the top. And he gets the free kick. Koski asking what the free kick's for. As we watch it, watch the Selwood work, the quick kick, and look at this pick up from Bartell. Brilliant.
Yeah, I think you just summed it up then. The difference in the two teams was the take of Selwoods and Bartell, wasn't it? Just open the door for them to get some forward movement.
There was a popular theory in the wet weather about whether the gap closes. I would have thought the gap actually widens because players' skills go to another level in the wet.
Varco, as you can see, just missing to the right. So 1 goal, 2 for Travis Varco.
Yeah, I agree, Michael. They played better than the average player, the skillful players. However, the ball's on the ground more often. It's slipperier, it's wetter, it's harder to do. So therefore, you don't score as much.
Difference out to 30 points. McKenzie safely goes the long option. Otten's over it.
Gee, how many times have we seen Brad Ottens on the ground fighting for the ground ball? It's quite amazing.
We called it earlier, Blighty, about his second efforts improving across the season.
Yeah, as he was winded earlier, of course, and he's getting back into real good form now. And if you're a midfielder and you see the big fella go down, you can just hold your ground and peel off a bit. You know, you don't have to get in there after it every time. Ties you out that.
6 goal to 2 second quarter. 3.5 minutes of it left. Cats have been attacking incessantly over the last 7 or 8 minutes. Have it in their front half now, but it might be about to come out because the Eagles this time rewarded the free kick, and it's going to Stephen Armstrong. Butler out wide, calling for the short one. Foregoes that option. Takes it very wide for Lynch.
Oh, he
to
called
come
it hard too, didn't he?
That's it, down! Wait!
That's a big, strong body. Can create serious collisions when it arrives at high velocity. Not a great kick, very high ball. Hard for Ashley Hansen there. Here's McKinley with Scarlett playing him close.
Just a bit of a tip for Hansen, Michael, when you're at the Eagles next year. He seems to run underneath a lot of balls. I mean, I'm not sure if that's his timing or his eyes or it's just his form, but he does seem to run under a lot, exactly like that.
Prismal, well tackled. Wattens does well to knock it to Joel Selwood, off to Bartel. Good tackle coming from Butler. Forces a turnover. No. And what was that free kick for?
Paid in the back.
In the back was the signal.
Right now, he's on three medal Brownlow.
No, Butler tried to turn him, but umpire was right on the scene as he kicks back to Hunt.
Selwood's not going too bad either.
Yep.
He's had a very good half. And don't be surprised if young Selwood gets a few Brownlow votes in that 5 or 6 games that Bartel will score quite heavily also.
Almost Lonigan. Oh, tackled, held without it by Davis. No free kick. Chance for Hansen this time. Does well, spins out of trouble. Good little chip kick. Okay to Butler from 50. He loads up, kicks to a vacant goal square, but Harley gets back. The captain spilled the mark.
Made a mess of that. It's now a throw in.
Deep in the right forward pocket.
Doesn't look terribly happy about it either. Even the behind was a better result, certainly these days. Lynch doing the ruck work for the Eagles. Harley gives to Scarlett. And he passes coolly to Varco. And the Cats starting to string it together now. Harley, Ottens, Varco still coming for another possession. That wasn't so good. And the Eagles could make them pay. Embley towards Hansen. Scarlett, decisive fist. Corey, even more decisive. Back to Varco. And what a beautiful pass to Mooney. That was the veritable lace-out pass. Mooney on the bounce to Gamble. Prismal streaming by. He's kicked one in this corner. He's kicked 2. Both of them bounced home. It's the Cats by 6 goals.
Well, the kick and just great open play. This set it up really. That's a beautiful kick. Mooney's kick missed, but the wonderful take, give. That's a good take, isn't it? And Prismal didn't try and overkick it, just tried to kick it to the goals.
What a number that is. More than double the West Coast's disposals.
Cats have kicked the last 5 goals in the game. Blake down to Ling. Was he pushed in the back? No, says the umpire. Another bounce. Eagles drew to within just a couple of points at the 12-minute mark when Lacroix kicked a goal, but since then it's been all Geelong. Joel Selwood, beautiful handball to Corey. Enright, wide and pinpoint accurate. Mark taken by Mooney. Now Prismal's loose, decides to go beyond him towards Chapman, Stengline. Also Lonigan there in the goal square for the Cats, tries to bring it back. McKenzie, oh gee, an untidy handball. Glass put him under the absolute pump. McKenzie again too slow to get rid of it. He's been pinged. So Eric McKenzie on 2 occasions has just been, well, tried to do too much. He just had to knock it through there and has been too slow in getting an effective disposal away. And on both occasions, Lonigan is going to take the kick.
And it's playing the ball to the end. Now, they could have rushed the ball through for a point and set up West Coast again, but the Geelong forwards didn't give up.
Lonigan kicks a goal, he's kicked 2. Tom Lonigan with his second, and all of a sudden the margin blows out to 42. And Geelong have kicked the last 6 goals in the game.
Yeah, the last 2 goals have hurt. I mean, it's just they were hanging about the place, the Eagles, but you know, you just can't afford to do that. That awareness, understanding what the position is on the ground, and that's a pretty good shot at goal.
Eric McKenzie is described in the AFL media guide as being quick with a good tank. which will arouse the attention of the conspiracy theorists in relation to low-placed teams dropping matches at the end of the season, Malcolm. Quick with a good tank.
I wouldn't mind throwing games against Geelong at the moment. I don't think that happens. Surely not.
No offence, Eric, or West Coast Eagles. Cats, as Michael Christian said, the last 6 goals of the half. And they've really blown this open now. And Mooney out on the edge of range there in the dying seconds. Well, he would have had the shot if he'd known what we could see on the time clock. And now it is half-time. The Cats with a dominant, in fact, an 8-goal second quarter lead by 42 points.
Yeah, they just put the foot down. They were able to exert their physical presence on this game. And they've been very clean, much cleaner, but the endeavour has been pretty good by the West Coast Eagles.
The second half about to get underway at Geelong, where the Cats have raced to a 7-goal lead by halfway. They're into the wind, the Eagles with the breeze in the third term. Ablett, Ling, good tackle by Fletcher, but what a clever kick. Not only that, it hit the bullseye. Milburn, Joel Selwood, tremendous smother though, coming from Scott Selwood. If they sold any more wood out there today, we'd have a huge bonfire. Butler for the Eagles. Body over the ball from Hunt.
Correct call from the umpire.
Enright.
That is tough.
Hopefully there'll be a ball up and we'll get a restart.
Well done by the umpire. We mentioned before about the head down, and in that instance, as we see that extraordinary kick, he had the head down and created the contact, so therefore play on.
Ottens, Butler scrambles it forward towards half forward. Well done, Lynch almost controlled it. Was he held? No, but found it at ground level. Little left foot kick. Ball towards the goal square. Well done. Great stuff there from Taylor. Although gave it to his captain who was under pressure. Hunt tries to crash his way through. Gets it to Harley. Off to Scarlett. Now Taylor. Now Milburn in the back pocket. Well done, Lynch. Put plenty of pressure on. Forced to kick around the body. Chance for McNamara. Haven't caught him too many times today. Joel Selwood, but he can't beat two Selwood. Dean Cox, handball over the top to Lynch. Prittis jams it on the boot very quickly. Had to. Lacroix will mark it right on the line in the pocket. We've seen a couple of goals kicked from there in this game. So Mark Lacroix with an opportunity perhaps to kick the first goal of the second half.
That's it.
Kicked a goal in the second quarter. And taking plenty of time here to try and narrow the margin back to 6 goals.
Yeah, just aim for the right goal post and I'll drift back in. It's not a difficult kick.
So he does exactly that, Malcolm, and kicks a goal. Lacroix has 2 and the margin is back to 6.
You can say something now, Michael. You're staggered at that, aren't you?
I just can't argue with that, Blighty.
He makes it sound so easy.
Oh, it is easy for Blighty. It's hard for everybody else.
Have a look at that. It just drifts back nicely, doesn't it?
That was, it has to be said, a lovely call, Malcolm. So Mark Lacroix with a little bit of advice from Malcolm Blight kicks the first goal of the second half. Still the Eagles trail by 6 goals. A mauling start to the quarter on the ice rink that it's become here. Not quite ice, although Mark Howard would have you believe it just about is.
I can't help thinking this is a great warm-up for the Cats. You know, there's been a lot of packs. You have to win your own footy here today, don't you? It's been good for them.
Fletcher just raking it off the ground with the boot. Chapman taking it over the line. What was your experience, Vossi, having played in that string of premierships of these end-of-season home and away matches?
Well, certainly when you're winning games by a lot, you need to be able to replicate that in some other way, whether it be at training, whether it be in games. And to be able to get a hard contest like this, I think, is a great preparation for a finals assault. They come out a bit bruised, a bit sore, and they have to compete against this team.
So free kick out of all that. Players are confused.
Nobody knows whose free kick it is.
Oh, it's Ablett's. Oh, gee, the players are confused. No one thought because they thought it was a West Coast free kick off the Stokes from 40 metres. Vacant goal square, and he bounces it through. Shocking umpiring. Well, you can't. There was no notification to the players of what the umpire was doing. We heard him try and tell players, but all the players were running forward because they thought it was a West Coast free kick.
Was that the actual mark, though? That's what
Look at Gareth. He's laughing. He can't believe he's laughing.
He was pointing in the wrong direction.
He's pointing in the right direction.
What's where the mark is, though? The mark's over where the umpire is, and he's some 10 metres behind the ball.
But the umpire was signalling as though it was a West Coast free kick. You could see him there. And then he gives it. That is just unbelievable.
But Gary Ablett was shaping as though he was going the other way. Wasn't he?
He was, and I think that's what the umpire got confused.
We were all
I think it's a really good trick if he's done that.
Geelong free kick. As we all try and put our brains back together again. Joel Corey, great vision, great delivery. Milburn, Steve Johnson. Schofield with him in Stingline.
That's 2 free kicks he's got. Just putting the head down.
Well, I make this 7 decisions that we've sort of queried. Not say they're totally wrong. Just been a bit of interpretation.
Oh, there's a report here. Fletcher cocked it high.
He's turned it over. They've changed the free kick.
But it won't change the fact that Stokes is going to go into the book on the eve of the finals. Now, he's a little bit late, perhaps.
Point on the elbow.
Can I? Look, I reckon, when we've just seen that, it looks bad, and I reckon he's tried to pull out of that. He didn't even use his fist. He just tried to get his arm out the way.
I have to say that in the moment, I didn't see it as a reportable offence from here.
Yeah. I mean,
How did you see it on the replay?
Well, it always looks worse in the replay. Slows it down.
No, neither was the free kick. Just
Anyway, he's been reported, but he gets a shot at goal.
And he didn't quite get the carry. It's behind.
How do you work that out? You get reported, yet you actually find the football. Anyway, we'll get on with it. Wilkes kicks to Nikoski, who streams from half back, kicks it very wide. Hansen, and the bouncing ball goes over, so a boundary thrown on the wing.
Should comment on that more though, Michael. I mean, he did get him head high, you know, and it was a bit careless. But it almost like he unclosed his fist to try and avoid it.
But he didn't appear to be going for the ball. That may count against him, but it's an interesting one.
It was just more reckless, I think. That's maybe
one of the problems is, Vossi, that's one of the aspects of being reported. You can go for being reckless. It may have even been the lower charge of negligent, but Matthew Stokes some nervous times as the ball comes to Big Lynch, who marks 60 from goal for West Coast.
I don't think anyone's intent is to go out there and hit anyone in the head deliberately.
No.
Maybe some have in the past, but not today.
So the glove comes off. Breeze at his back. He's got to kick at 65. So Quentin Lynch tries to kick at 70 and does, but is offline. Again, kicking well back off the mark on that occasion.
Here's what happened after the report. Umpire Jeffrey coming in. Darren Glass.
Well, he didn't even actually see the contact. So how can you pay for a kick?
That's a good point.
Saw the circumstantial evidence of Matthew Stokes lying at his feet.
It could have been another reportable offence for Stokes for all he knew, feeding the umpire.
I reckon Scott Jeffrey, the umpire's read that pretty well.
Well, maybe.
He's guessed.
I reckon he's read it.
He's guessed.
Here go the Cats. Milburn, perfect pass, gamble, and it's one-on-one now. Mooney and Glass. Mooney winning the body contest and winning the dancing contest and kicking the goal. Give the Cats a little bit of rope. And they're a very dangerous unit. Mooney not pushing him in the back, just stood his ground. And then knew where he was going.
Just wonderful there. He got a second crack at the ball. Didn't even try and fly for the mark. Just bodied his opponent. Left the space open for him to run onto.
So margin 48 points in favour. And this is the incident where the kick was reversed. And umpire Scott Jeffrey cannon into, and he looked straight at glass, and as we mentioned, didn't actually see it, but guessed correctly. Embley, no free kick there for a high tackle. They pile in on top of each other, and the umpire calls for it.
Stokes was double glazed.
Yep, got it, Tim, got it.
So Ottens, and he's plucked one out to Dean Cox. So Cox gets on with it quickly. Wide to the fat side. Big bounce, eludes all players. Coming up to meet at McKinley. He can't take it. Oh, just landing on his head there unintentionally. Oh, no, intentionally, said the umpire. And a free kick will come back to McKinley. Now, what does he need to do from this pocket, Malcolm?
Hope.
Right. Kick, the wind blowing into that right forward pocket that you can see there. So, tough kick. The ball will move left to right again as he tries to kick from 45 metres. A beautiful relaxed kick from Ben McKinley, and he's kicked a wonderful goal. He hoped and he delivered. Gee, that was a beautiful kick. He's got a lovely relaxed kicking action, hasn't he?
It almost makes a mockery of the first couple that he missed today, didn't it? We've all said how good a kick he was. I mean, it was just a lovely... I mean, that was... and that's a free kick. Accidents do count. I reckon that's the way it is. But he did. Look at that beautiful relaxed style. You see blokes with those tight, taut arms and face, and he's good material, Michael. Will you coach the good ones and leave Bush all the hard ones?
Am I answering that?
He's kicked 42 goals for the season, Ben McKinley. So he is hope for the West Coast Eagles. Cox and Blake. The more experienced man won it. Adam Selwood hoping for Fletcher. Gary Ablett twisting away to Gamble. Now Varco, the Cats stringing it together. Stokes back to Varco. Joel Selwood not quite expecting it. Dances out of trouble. Gamble. This will be good if it comes off. Varco curls it with the left. He didn't curl it. It went straight.
He tried to turn the ball over. Oh, it was just a drop punt round the corner, really, wasn't it? Just made it more difficult for himself.
So a boundary throw in deep in the pocket. Blake does well to hold Cox out, and well done by Schofield tying it up with Matthew Stokes. So a bounce 25 metres from Geelong's goal. Margin a comfortable 42 points. Lukoski. Cox, beautiful pick up for a big man as he swings it wide. Lecrae, decisive fist from Taylor. Burns, little sidestep effective, then had to give it off to Blake, who's confronted with three West Coast defenders. Lukoski, well tackled by Ablett. Oh, he's been pinged. Free kick to Gary Ablett.
Now, Michael, as Gary Ablett goes back, talking about champs, there's one Daniel Kerr's been mentioned maybe as a trade target. I know he's got a year to go to the contract. What are your thoughts on keeping Daniel Kerr at the West Coast Eagles as we watch Gary Ablett do his stuff?
Can I just say first, Malcolm, that's the one I don't like. He got his toe onto that ball. He was trying to do something.
So Ablett from 40 metres takes it left. Seen that happen a couple of times from the champ today.
And it was very good of him, because I want Michael to ask the question instead of going to a goal. Yeah.
Nah, look, I think he's an important player. I think that from a capability point of view, he's one of the better players in the competition. And his ability to be able to win the ball in tight, and also when the ball spreads, is absolute first class. And he just brings that good old-fashioned mongrel to a side, and can play a really important role for West Coast, I would have thought. So from their perspective, I'm sure that'll, there's a lot of talk around it at the moment without not necessarily a lot of detail.
So the answer's yes for you, yeah, obviously.
Oh, I think so, yes.
Yeah.
Good mark by Taylor. Three of them went up. He was the last of them. Hanson ran under the ball. Scarlett for Geelong gives Hunt some space and does it beautifully. Varco coming down the ground into some space as Prismal. too far out this time. He ran 2 goals home in the third quarter from a long way. Not 15. Enright quickly to Mooney. Scott Selwood back there with him, but the drop of that ball, its arc, just beat the West Coast defence.
And just pull the kick.
Yeah.
Just clever kick, and that's understanding your teammates know that it's going to go to the advantage side.
Mooney kicks his second goal of the quarter.
And what's the value of being able to play with your teammates for a long time? This.
Mooney 46 goals for the year. Steve Johnson on 47.
So Mooney with a couple this afternoon takes a rest. Blake up against Seavey. Little toe poke effective to Corey because he was able to get it to Bartel. He hoists it high to half forward. Wilkes and Davis go at it. Both miss it. Davis recovers best. Chance for Corey. Well tackled by Nikoski, pinning his arms. He can't get it clear, so we'll get a bounce at centre half forward for Geelong. Margin 49 points. Blake decisively inside attacking 50. Nikoski and Burns both holding each other. Spills to Stokes, to Varco. Brilliantly tapped into the pole there. Ablett, he won't miss this. Kicks his first of the afternoon. And things looking pretty ugly for West Coast now. Margin blows out to 55 points. Still plenty of time. We're not even halfway through this third quarter. And maybe that 100-point smashing that we alluded to might come to fruition.
Just wondering, as you look at those possessions, this is a flogging. How are we on the boundary down there, mate? The floodgates are opening. Is it wet down there?
For the first time in about 3 hours, Blight has actually stopped raining, so there's a few smiles down here on the boundary.
Oh, so the floodgates aren't opening then.
A lot of smiles around the ground with the Cats racing away now. Head over the ball. High tackle by Bartel. Took the risk. Butler's free kick.
The difference there in that tackle is that he already had his head down as picking it up. That's the difference.
Yep.
Here's Prismal to Bartel. Back to Prismal. Now Ablett becoming more and more effective. So often he does this as games wear on. Prismal, lovely pass. Steve Johnson will line them up. He has 4. He's having a big day. At the start of the day, Mooney was ahead of him, 44 goals to 43. Johnson's gone past him.
Just watch this kicking. We missed that kick, but out in front, just super skills.
And he puts it through for his 5th goal. Cats lead has gone beyond 10. For a game that was even at quarter time in exactly a quarter and a half, because we're 10 minutes from the end of the third quarter, Geelong have raced it to a 61-point lead. And the rotations are on with the finals a week away.
And the kicking of Geelong is absolutely outstanding. We saw Enright before. Here's Prismal, just pulls the kick, puts it out to the advantage side of his teammate, lets him run into the ball. That is a real art to be able to do that, and just that understanding that they have for one another.
Blake beats CB. Joel Selwood taken to the ground. Ling. Prismal again. Wide. Out comes Lonigan. McKenzie, his opponent, and he toe pokes it to the line. So a boundary thrown between half forward and wing, and Dean Cox has 11 disposals, leads the West Coast count. Geelong have 12 players with 11 or more disposals. Quite remarkable, the disposal count this afternoon, as Blake wins it down towards Varco. He's immediately tackled, and the umpire will bounce. 17-11, plays 8-4. And the boundary line run by Hunt. In fact, he kept it in. Enright, somehow a little drop kick to Hunt, who kicks towards half forward, but Spanger is in the way, and this will be his first possession of the match.
Corey Enright there missing, I think, with his kick, but he'd had no prior opportunity, and he had made an attempt. This is McNamara for West Coast, giving it to Chad Fletcher.
And just to add that argument of dominating possession, there's 18 players from West Coast with less than 10 possessions. That is quite a staggering stat.
That's the Eagles' 24th disposal of the quarter in 20 minutes of football. That makes it 25. Now that is a massive statement of Geelong's domination in this term. Schofield kicks to Lynch, as Geelong just keep on applying the pressure. 5 goals to 2 in this term into the wind from the reigning title holders. Long ball, Hansen misjudged his run there. Embley just about getting a kick towards the sticks. Hunt covers it. Stokes reported earlier in the quarter. They have some anxious moments this week. Priddis gets a snap out of the traffic and kicks a goal for the Eagles.
Well, most of that wasn't pretty. It was really forceful footy, and I suppose if you're ever going to show this tape again, this would be one where you just keep trying to force the ball forward as a group unit, keep pressure on players, and eventually something fell forward, and Priddis did get that nice little snap away. So good forceful forward movement.
So Priddis with his first goal of the afternoon. Back in the centre, Cox read it well. Stingline couldn't find boot to ball as Chapman kicks it inside, attacking 50. Spanger working across, does pretty well. Now needs to use the football. Look for Cox, who had to beat a couple, and at ground level it's all Geelong. Stokes confronted by Priddis. Well done by Davis coming up to meet it. Stokes has got it again tackled by Priddis, so they tie it up, a bounce on centre wing. 55 points the margin. Matthew Stokes, a couple of nervous days ahead for him, and a free kick plucked out against Ottens.
Threw it out of the air.
Okay, fair enough too, and the free kick. The big Q man, Lynch, pumps it 80 metres inside, attacking 50, and hands on the back. Geelong free kick against McKinley, and the free kick will be taken by Hunt. Gee, that was a kick and a half from Lynch. Harley, no one within 40 metres of Tom Harley, so he's got plenty of time just to cruise out of defence and deliver to Milburn.
It's amazing how many times they can get a player free in the back half of the ground.
Well, John Selwood ran 80 metres to get on the end of that one on centre wing. Beautiful kick inside, attacking 50. Well, it wasn't that great because Davis has marked it. His intention was to get it to Johnson, who couldn't quite get to the contest. So the West Coast now bringing out of defence. Scott Selwood, well done Corey. Priddis, Ling on top of him. What's the umpire going to decide here? Oh, gee, it was a harsh one, and the free kick was Ling.
Cats keep on coming. Long ball. Mooney is back. He nearly had it. Steve Johnson might be a chance. He'll like having a go from there. He wants it. He just couldn't get hold of it. Varco. Cats trying to keep it alive. They can work from the stoppage now. Still more than 6 minutes left in the quarter. The lead is 55. There's Priddis. Went to ground, which might have been his big mistake, and drew the wrath of the umpire. Otten's been wrestling all day in the ruck. All the big men. Lynch goes in hard and just wrenches it out like the big strong man in a comic book. Hansen hasn't been able to take a grab up there today. Up there or up on the wing. And there'll be a throw in. Right on the centre line. Cox getting to the drop, but straight to Prismal. Having a pretty good day as Brent Prismal. Milburn getting better as it wears on. Hunt out in front of Ablett. Adam Selwood never been far away all day. Ablett, his mind, you see it working. Steve Johnson trying to roll it down one arm. There'll be a throw in. Prismall's has been talked about as a possible trade because he can't quite make Geelong's best 22. I don't think they'd want to let him go, would they?
Not on this season's form, no, but on it's the old story, Tim. Once you get too good, you can't keep them all.
Well, you want to. Well, I mean, we lost Craig Bolton,
Yeah.
become an All-Australian defender in our time. Couldn't get ahead of Mel Michael and Justin Lepich, and it's the byproduct of being good. And you know, Prisball, no doubt, can play the game, but ultimately, you want to play 22 games, not 11.
Great mark taken by Harley in centre wing. So the captain kicks back and across to the true centre-half back position where Hunt is free. He can run if he likes. No one ahead of him for 30 metres. He decides to kick instead. Steve Johnson wide to Ottens. Back to Hunt. Ottens. Where will he go? Decides just to kick it as far as he can. Mooney at the back. Oh, he took one down in front, and Stokes has paid the mark. Stokes has marked 35 from goal. And I thought Cameron Mooney may have just interfered with Stokes' immediate opponent there, but not according to the umpire. So Matthew Stokes will kick and should kick another goal. In fact, Geelong's 18th goal of the afternoon. He's kicked one already in this quarter. Floats it forward and puts it through. Margin back to 61 points, and Matthew Stokes has a couple as we watch the build-up.
I think Matthew Stokes is important in this team. I think he's good overhead. He's quick. We know he's reported, which was a bit sad today, but he's got pace. He can run up and down the ground. He looks as though he's got a reasonable tank, and he can go in the midfield. I think he's important. He's improving as a player all the time.
So Stokes has a breather. He's third on Geelong's goal kicking list behind Steve Johnson and Cameron Mooney. And the Cats having kicked 14 goals to 5 since quarter time. Just keep attacking. Johnson been a focal point all day. Davis for the Eagles, giving it to Nikoski. Now Spanger to Embley. And the Eagles break. And it's open up there. A jostle, McKinley and Hunt. Good fist from Hunt. Butler at the fall. Head over it, and the contact came.
Was it lower? Again, he had his head down trying to pick it up. So you run into him. It's a free kick.
Cats have had 29 free kicks to 19. The fans are pretty unhappy, but they can't really complain too much.
Here's the head down. Again, it's...
What more could Prismall done there? I mean, he didn't
no.
really move. He was stationary.
Correct.
I tend to agree with that a little bit, yeah.
Hunt to Scarlett, and back to Hunt.
How come they keep getting a loose defender? Michael, when you're there next year, find out what happens here.
How come Geelong?
Yeah, Geelong.
Well, Geelong, they try and get back and defend that defensive 50. Their main priority is defence, is to get back quickly and support out their other teammates. That's what they try to do. They try to generate it, and this is how they get their run.
So the Cats move it forward. Scarlett, Mooney up across half forward now. Kicks it back inside attacking 50. Out comes Davis, takes it on the half volley and holds onto it as he's making a genuine attempt. The umpire says it's okay. Will bounce 40 metres from the Geelong goal. Even 10-goal lead. 29 scoring shots to 14. Disposals 300 to 144. Steve Johnson keeps his feet. It's got to beat a couple here. And a good tackle coming from McKenzie. They drag him down. The umpire will bounce. Hard up against the line, 35 metres around from the Geelong goal. Inside 50s, 44 to 24 in favour of the Cats. Burns going nowhere, so
Just
another bounce.
Just observation here. You see how many players have got white boots in that? Steve Johnson had them. Do you reckon they make you look quicker, Michael? The white boots, or you like the black traditional boots?
Lynch forces it over. Sorry?
The white boots or the black boots? Do you reckon the white ones make you look quicker, or do you like traditional stuff?
That's a very good question. Something I've never thought about. I think that. No, I don't think it makes you look quicker.
Right, okay.
Happy with the black boots.
Right.
In fact, you're in the minority now with the black boots, aren't you?
Yeah, because I'm just watching the feet here. I mean,
What is that? Lair, black boots, absolute lair. What's he doing?
Wolsey hates the black boots. he's worn to the orange ones. Selwood's kick delights Geelong fans going out on the full. Free kick to Enright. The Cats in the last 2 minutes of the third quarter with a 10-goal lead. Blake takes the mark. They used to say that Geelong's hoops made Geelong teams look quicker than others. I reckon there might be something in that.
so he's got white boots.
It's not the white boots, it's the hoop jumper.
Or is it the fact they have a lot of the football?
The fact that they can play.
Oh, good smother, Bartel. Steve Johnson, Prismal. Bartel gets it back. It's a good kick. Mooney wrestling. And the ball through for a rush behind.
See the goal umpires of still traditional black boots here today?
Is they slow?
Yeah.
I thought we'd get on to a few topics today. I didn't quite think we'd go this far. Stenglon kicks long. Bartel took his eyes off the ball there. Chance for Prismal. At ground level, gee, Armstrong and Prittis fighting over it. Cox, Armstrong, and now Nikoski. Half back for the Eagles. Tried to find Embley. He almost did. Good stuff that from Tom Harley. Put his body in. Butler off to McKinley. Wasn't a great kick. Didn't give Wilkes much of a chance. Good tackle by Armstrong, forcing the ball over. The tackle was on Corey Enright, and we'll get a boundary thrown between wing and half forward for the West Coast.
You got your black shoes on today, Chris?
Yes.
Thought you were looking a little tardy. Prismal, Taylor, Enright. Might be time for the Cats here. Darren Milburn, Scarlett. They've got some tough customers down the back. And of course, here's the statesman among them, the captain, Tom Harley. Bring it back to Scarlett. But, there's no obvious pathway here. Prismal now gives to Milburn, and time starting to play against Geelong, and that's an untidy kick. Might let the Eagles in. Enright back to Harley. The errors coming from the Cats. Now Burns, the late inclusion today for Mackey. What a beautiful kick that was. Finding Bartel. The quarter comes to an end. Another one dominated by Geelong, and the Cats lead by 61 points at the last change. They're on their way to a 21-1 season.
History of the game.
Well, West Coast in 91, when they didn't win the premiership, achieved a percentage of 162.2.
Well, we might not be seeing that greatest team ever then.
And it doesn't matter how high your percentage is, it doesn't guarantee a flag.
No, but they didn't win 21 games though.
True.
So a secondary bounce as we get this final quarter underway.
That's a technicality that we might still be looking at the greatest team.
Yep. Quite remarkable.
Any more, Tim?
I have one more for you, but I'll wait till play stops again.
Thank you.
It stopped. Another bounce.
Essendon, 1950. Only lost one game for the year, percentage of 162.2.
That's what we're after. How many games were played that
20,
year?
I think.
Yeah, so they've only won 19. So we're still in front. 21's the winner so far.
So a very slow start to this final quarter as Lynch dumps it 20 metres forward. Ablett. Oh, gee, initial fumble, but brilliantly picked up the second time off to Prismal. Now Enright. Ottens has been a fantastic player again today, Brad Ottens. Slow start, injured for the first half of the season almost. Lonigan hits it hard, which is what he had to do. Brilliantly done again by Chapman. Burns back to Lonigan's got Ling there if he needs. He decides to shoot at goal himself and misses everything. So a free kick to West Coast in the back pocket.
Indeed, your case becomes even more overwhelming, Malcolm. There were only 18 games in 1950.
Yeah, look, you're quite right, Tim.
So it could have been a percentage of 170. Is that what you're saying?
No, they might have lost the other two, or three or four.
Here go the Eagles. Got to wait and see by what the Cats can boost their percentage in this final quarter. They had the wind, as you might have noticed from that kick, which did hold up. Taylor took the mark, gave to Joel Selwood, to Ling. And the Cats methodically build up. And this man, Prismal, uses the ball beautifully. Oh, and that was perfect to Lonigan on the lead. And he can go back and line them up.
And that's where you see the ball movement of Geelong, where it's just super. They're midfielders. They push back. They kick the ball laterally, bring it to the open side. And the forwards lead into it nicely. I mean, that was almost like a training run.
Just, Tim, to finish off that stat feast, I think there's been 10 teams with over 150% at the end of the season. 9 out of the 10 have gone on to win the premiership, including one last year called Geelong.
Lonigan for his 3rd goal of the day. Malcolm Blight likes them from out there, but that one hit the woodwork.
Wasn't quite enough on the angle. It was too easy, that one. But that's fascinating, isn't it? And they've never not made the grand final. Anyone with a percentage of over 150%. Do we all think we're seeing a grand finalist team in Geelong here today?
I think we're seeing the premiership team, Blighty.
Well, Scott Selwood, shocking mistake. Took a long time to get rid of it, but the umpire said it was okay as he gave it to Nikoski, who almost floats it towards half-back. Lynch and Scarlett got it somehow to Cox. Armstrong brilliantly tackled by Bartel. Lovely fend off from Joel Selwood, and then centres perfectly to Ling from 65. Kicks it short, and the mark's taken by Steve Johnson within scoring range with the breeze at his back. It's strengthened again. He decides to take on the man on the mark, and then got pinged by Prittis. Handball wide to Prismal. Davis in close attention there. Lonigan's got it. Goes down. It could be in trouble here. Oh, the umpire, that would have been red hot at the start of the season, but the umpiring certainly more lenient as the season's got on with that type of infringement. Lynch kicked it straight up in the air. McKenzie takes a very good chest mark, but it covered about 3 metres, so we'll get a bounce 45 metres from Geelong's goal.
Gee, we had a lot of players at this end of the ground. It's going to be tough for Geelong. There's a lot of Eagles players around this footy.
Steve Johnson, little fancy a moment ago when he tried to play on, just a bit casual. Fletcher, Prittis, Ablett working hard, looking to force the turnover. Nikoski getting it out, but not into a safe spot. Johnson with a good tackle. So another ball up. An ugly start to this last quarter. 3.5 minutes of playing time have elapsed, and the Cats have not been able to add to their goal tally. Ottens gives away a free kick in the ruck, and it'll go to the big Q. Quinton Lynch at half-back for the Eagles. Dull late afternoon now at Geelong. Kick very wide, but not too wide. Throw in on the wing.
McNamara, pretty quiet today, just the 3 disposals. Ottens, Lynch at it again. Prismal through the congestion towards Chapman. Oh, through the hands of Ling, a little too far. Oh, the kick came to Joel Selwood and got him right in the mouth. He's up and going though. He's okay. Chance now for Prittis. Little fumble, but gets it to McNamara. From 45, McNamara shoots it at open goal square, and it bounces through for a goal. So a goal to West Coast. Off the boot of Jamie McNamara, and Joel Selwood's okay. He copped that, and nothing worse on a cold, wet day. And the ball's pretty heavy, and it smashes into your face from close range. And good on him for just getting up and getting straight on with it. Not even a hit of a nosebleed there, Vossi.
It's just fantastic, I reckon, in a team game where you're tight and hard, and as we watch the Selwoods watching on, and the Sun caught one in the mush there.
It led to Jamie McNamara's first goal in AFL football on a bleak day at Geelong. If there's not too much to remember about this day for the Eagles, he won't forget that. And the Cats are being forced backwards again, but Chapman now halts the retreat and finds Ottens. Corey Enright, flawless defender. Al Selwood coming with the flight here. Couldn't hang on. Cox, Lynch. Now Lacroix. And the Eagles are building again into the win. Have the only goal for the quarter thus far. Good collect by McKinley. Has to take it away from goal. And They lose control of it. And here's Joel Selwood copping it on the nose a moment ago off teammate Chapman's boot.
Oh, they do too. What about when you get a split lip or something like that? They just an ache lot tonight. You know when you have those salted peanuts after the game, Michael. Just
wash them away, don't you?
Well, Stokes must have given him a sledge after that.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic bit of byplay between the two. Selwood's almost pushed him over.
Lynch, third man up. Bartel only as far as Butler. He kicks it back, and good mark taken by Joel Selwood, who has recovered very quickly. He kicks inside the centre square into the path of Jimmy Bartel. Decides just to hack it from mid-air. Perhaps not the best option, or maybe it is. As Glass gets back, Mooney a chance. Good pick-up. Handball intended for Steve Johnson. Missed the mark. Bartel follows his work up between the legs of Schofield, if you don't mind. Back towards Bartel from Johnson. Johnson again. Tries to take on the tackler. Got a handball just. Burns. Hard up against the line. Deep in the right forward pocket with a non-dominant boot. It's across the face. Dumped through by the West Coast defence.
Well, there was a bit of tunnel ball and Piggy in the middle there. The hand pass through the legs and then the 2-on-1. And there was a bit of old-fashioned bang it off the ground. Here's the tunnel ball. And then they had poor old Will Schofield caught between them. Well, that's a good mark by Glass.
Tim, do they play Piggy in the middle at school anymore?
Oh, well, I would hope so, Malcolm. I think there should be a government inquiry if they don't. 50-metre penalty here. Brings Glass to the attacking side of the centre. Stengline sensing an opportunity as he runs down the fat flank and kicks to full forward. Free kick to Gary Ablett, thrown out of the contest. Blake. He's a cumbersome sight, but he does some good things below his knees. Mooney. Corey. Back to Blake. Oh, he's become a runner. A member of the Geelong running fleet. Here's Ottens with a chance. Going past us. Prismal has two already. Might have given a one away, but Stokes got a hand in there. Perhaps should have let it go. Touched off Prismal's boot.
I think it was probably going to miss anyhow, so yeah, I think I would have stuck out a hand then too, Michael.
So Lynch into the back pocket. Mark taken by McKenzie. Chips it dangerously to Scott Selwood. Outnumbered 2-on-1, and Steve Johnson's well tackled but going nowhere, so the umpire decides to bounce it.
Geelong haven't kicked a goal this quarter. It's probably the most amazing thing that's happened today.
Ottens pushes Cox out of the way, gives it to Stokes, but his snap, he can't pull it back far enough. Scrapes it in for a behind.
The Eagles waste no time. Dean Cox. Big men Cox and Lynch working in tandem. Lovely looking kick from Lynch, scything ball. LeCras flying from behind. Enright. Mooney working up the ground. Cooley finding Scarlett. And there's a man loose. It's Blake, and the crowd wanting to have a go. And he obliges, and he sprays it. It's a minor score. Still, the Cats are being outscored for the term. Started the quarter 61 points to the good. They've kicked 5 straight behinds.
I'm not sure. Blake's apologising to teammates. I'm not sure what he's apologising for. The shot was to be made. He went for it, missed.
No, Nikoski coughs it up. Mark taken by Bartel on attacking 50. Corey. So, with the Breeze behind him, certainly a big chance to make it. Decides to kick across the ground, beautifully disguised towards Lonigan. He couldn't quite hold on. In fact, Schofield did pretty well to affect the spoil and the boundary throw-in. Darren Glass, the West Coast captain, tough year. Ottens and Cox go at it. Chance for Embley. And off the step, kicks very wide. In fact, out on the full, so it'll be a Geelong free kick between wing and half forward.
Harry Taylor. Left footer. Take it. Sits it up. Ottens is there, and he's got it. The tired Dean Cox just couldn't really make a contest of it. And the big man from the west with his hands on his knees, a little dejected. Taylor not sure which direction to go, but eventually got it just right.
Go with him, Will. Take him out.
And Otten should at last kick a Geelong goal in this final quarter. The Cats lead by 60. A goal here will give them an ascendancy over West Coast in 2 games this year of over 200 points, having won by 135 at Subiaco 9 weeks ago. Brad Otten's just won for the day, still won for the day, and the margin is 61.
36 scoring shots to 15. Disposal count 373. Geelong 186 to West Coast. There's the Eagles bringing out of defence. Fists from Milburn. Brilliantly taken though by Corey. Off to Bartel. Has hurt a long time in the tackle. And he'll get the free kick against Davis. And Jimmy Bartel coming in for his 25th disposal. Kicks across. Otten's a target again. Well done, Lonigan. Last waiting on the goal line. Leaves the pressure to Scott Selwood.
1 metre, Trent! 1 metre!
There's been the best of the brothers today, Vossi. Not too much of a competition, is it?
Well, I think Joel Selwood's been super. I think he's been best on ground, to be honest.
So Geelong free kick, another one here, and this is from Malcolm Blight's favourite pocket. And Cameron Mooney just eyeing off the goals here.
It's in between the Doug Wade stand and the Reg Hickey stand. Should it be called the Malcolm Blight pocket?
Well,
No.
so just needs to kick this at the right-hand goalpost, Malcolm.
Yep.
Nice relaxed action.
He just kicked it too low.
Yeah, too far.
The wind didn't take it. You know, you just need to get a bit of height with it.
So behind to Cameron Mooney.
Mooney 2 goals for the day. Steve Johnson 5. Johnson 48 for the year. Mooney 46. Adam Selwood to bring it back. Glass is at the end of it. So Seaby. Armstrong can't break out of there. Ablett just takes it from his hands.
Look at that.
He's so strong. Bartel, Blake. Typical Geelong move this. And Enright drops it like a leaf off a tree onto the chest of Tom Lonigan, who will line them up.
So far in the quarter, the Cats have kicked 7 behinds. West Coast, 1 goal.
And the strength of Ablett. Ripped it out of his arms and then fends off, frees his hands from the tackler and dishes it off to a free teammate. Outstanding.
Lonigan 29 goals for the year. And that's his 30th as the Cats finally break through.
Well, yeah, a goal down that end with the breeze. I guess it was obvious it was going to happen, but as you say, the strength of Ablett. Selwood's good at that too. Ablett's good at it. They're terrific at pushing off, but fairly, just in the chest, not in the head. And interesting kicking style. Kicked up, let the wind do the rest, and comfortable goal.
So Lonigan 3 for the afternoon. Gary Ablett 26 disposals. Been another outstanding performance as Chapman kicks it inside attacking 50. Steve Johnson has kicked 5, looking for perhaps his 6th before this game is out. Schofield does well, just concedes with the pressure coming from the Geelong forwards. And a rush behind to the Cats. 69 points the difference.
And they have crossed that 200-point aggregate margin over West Coast. Oh, that's a free kick, surely against Adam Selwood. Unrealistic attempt to mark. Oh, great stuff, Chapman. Brave, eyes never left the ball. Enright, perfect as ever. Finds Ottens. Got close to the man on the mark. He should have gone back a second time. Now Ablett, bobbing and weaving, eluding. Gamble. Just too strong with the kick. Not really the right option. Stenglein gives to Prittis for West Coast. Harley, though, had the sit on Chad Fletcher. Chad Fletcher, one of the Eagles, with a bit of a question mark over his future now. Harley to Joel Selwood. Milburn 70 out. Waiting. Hunt. Good kick of the ball. Lets it go from a long way. It is a very long kick. A beauty.
Yes, the right bloke ended up with a footy then, didn't he? It can be a thumping kick at times, and just hit it. Only about 2 steps too. Just hit it perfectly, and once again over that side. There's the early jump. You thought it might have impeded and a free kick.
Yeah, probably not much contact, was there?
Yep. That's great. That's from Chapman.
Josh Hunt with his first goal of the afternoon, the 20th for the Cats, and the margin out to 75 points. Ottens, Adam Selwood. They fight tirelessly after it, but a secondary bounce, the attacking side of the centre for the West Coast.
Michael, what a mouth-watering challenge you have ahead at the Eagles next year. You're obviously going to look forward to it. This is the last time you'll see them for the year. As we watch the ball here, and Hansen probably get a goal. No, he fell over.
Yeah,
he's had a dirty day, hasn't he?
Should have taken the mark, but Geelong clear through Taylor. Burns, Nikoski, foot race. Nikoski is tackled brilliantly by Burns, and what's the umpire say? Throw it in.
You're not taking much notice of this, are you, today? Because they've had some injuries.
I mean, even the appointment as such is a little unusual in timing, just for the sheer fact that it's happened during the year, but it does give the opportunity to be able to look at players, and obviously from Woosh's perspective, he's had a chance to be able to expose these guys to the best team in the competition. So they know that in pre-season they come with an accurate analysis of where they sit in the pecking order of things and what they've got to work on and what they need to be able to develop over the course of a pre-season, and multiple pre-seasons, not just one.
Yep.
Chance for Corey, off to Varco from 55 metres, kicks to the goal squirrel, big push there, Lonigan kicks a goal. It's okay, says the umpire, he's kicked 4. Eagles defence arguing with the umpire, suggesting that Lonigan effected a big push out there. Let's have another look at it, Rossi. What did you make of this?
Oh, yeah, it was hands in the back. Strict interpretation.
No.
That's hands in the back.
Yep.
The umpire was just in the wrong position, and that can obviously happen at times.
And that's why it's not a great rule, because it's very hard to police every time.
So Tom Lonigan's 4th, all at that end, have blown Geelong's lead out to 81 points. Otten's winning in the ruck and doing the roving. Almost gone for holding it at the end of it. Butler to Selwood, Adam Selwood. Taylor in the way.
Actually, his second half's been better, Taylor. I thought he was a bit fumbly early, but he's actually played a lot better in the second half.
Milburn, Enright, Varco. Geelong stringing it together, just wearing the Eagles down as this quarter's worn on. There'll be a throw-in inside the 50 now. So Geelong's, there's Taylor taking a comfortable mark. Geelong's aggregate victory over West Coast now standing at 216 points. Malcolm, you would know that's not a record. We'll get to that stat shortly.
Oh, of course, everyone knows that.
So they work it around and try and extend that lead. And they'll get another chance after the throw-in. The record for 2 home and away game victories in a season is Hawthorn over Fitzroy back in 1991. They beat them by 157 and 126 for a total of 283.
It'd be hard to knock off that one, I reckon.
It'll take some doing. The Cats were nearly halfway there going into this game, and they had the home ground advantage on the run home.
Yeah, someone said to me during the week that perhaps 37 goals, which is the world record for Australian rules football game. 37 goals, Michael.
Who was coaching that?
I think it was Geelong versus the Brisbane Bears, Michael.
It might have been. I think you know exactly what it is.
Someone said to me today, I was in the back, yeah, but as soon as the weather was bad, it was never going to happen, of course, and I think you'd stop that happening. That's not the record you want, is it, really?
Do you ever sit down and have a chat with Robert Walls about that?
I've actually purposely never mentioned it to him.
Cox in trouble. Oh, look out. Chance here for the Cats. Cox again over the top of the head handball. Nikoski in all sorts. Did well, kept his composure and was able to swing in the tackle, give it to Enright, although he coughs it up. Mark taken by Joel Selwood, 55 from goal. Enright was at 15. Yes, says the umpire. Enright will kick from 50.
I mean, it is an imposing record that, you know, to be the world record high score coach. Something you're going to have to chase, Michael.
Oh, dear. So here he is, Corey Enright.
It's been in one of those moods, Blighty, today.
He hasn't kicked a goal this afternoon from 50. Beautiful, relaxed kick. The Cats have 22. Gee, that was a beautiful, relaxed approach and kick, Bossy, and kicked at 65 with the win, mind you, but lovely goal.
Yeah, just a good setup again. And sometimes in situations when you are a long way out, you can overkick the ball. Let the ball do the work for you.
The margin 87 points. Corey Enright deserved a goal. It's been good. The Eagles work it forward through Butler, but Scarlett is in the way. Had a little breather on the bench a while ago next to his former St Joseph College teammate in Ling. Here's Enright from the back half this time to Ablett. In the last 5 minutes, time yet perhaps for the Cats to get this lead into 3 figures. Johnson will kick 4 goals before half time. Has only added 1 to that tally. That is the leading goal kicker for the day. Tom Harley. Milburn looking for a way forward, selling the dummy beautifully to Butler. All the tricks coming out. Prismal, perhaps too many tricks. Got to get out of trouble now. Scarlett, Chapman, Scarlett. And get out of trouble he does. Or does he? Chapman. Back to Harley. Everyone's a little tired. They look forward to getting to the rooms in September and another flag. Here comes Taylor, who would love to be part of that. And his delivery to Mooney. 75 from goal. Methodical kick, Johnson. I think it was meant for Ottens. He hurt his finger. He's okay. Ottens was on a lead and it was going to land on his chest, but Johnson got his hands onto it first and has a chance to equal his best ever goal tally in a game against the Lions 5 years ago. The number 6, he's got it. Catch by 93.
Look at his hand there. There's no damage there. He just might have flicked the top of it when he caught that mark. Oh, here we go. Live ladder. 161.5.
Geelong need to score 13 more points to hoist their percentage above 161.2, and that would give them the best percentage for a season since Collingwood in 1929.
Gee, Corey, Ling. Here they go again, looking for Burns. Fist from Nikoski. Burns recovers. This time the tackler is Nikoski, and the umpire calls for it. The attacking side of the wing for Geelong.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got to go to the 21 wins, though, don't you, first? You've got to go to the most wins, surely, and then look at the percentage.
What a mark from Jimmy Bartell. Is that a second Brownlow he just caught as Ling kicks it towards half forward. Varco did well to push back on Davis. Kick forward by Armstrong. Prittis couldn't quite gather. Lynch has been one of West Coast's best. Somehow got boot the ball. Adam Selwood is crunched. And the umpire calls for it again.
There'll be mathematicians watching this telecast, Malcolm, and they would tell you that percentage isn't a product of the number of games you play. It's the ratio of the points for to the points against at each outing.
Look, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Schofield kicks to Harley. And Harley marks across half back into the path of Scarlett. Good chase by McNamara. He's got him pinned. So Scarlett concedes ground, looking for support.
Inside.
Hunt. Beautiful kick. Mark taken by Ling. Johnson, Steve Johnson, who's kicked 6 this afternoon. And he pokes it forward, and the mark's taken by Gamble. His kick effective. Bartel sliding. So the Cats methodically working it forward, looking for another, their 24th goal. Ball with Stokes. Too far out to score. Kicks to the fat side, and just well done by Armstrong. Got a hand in there to prevent Mooney from marking it. Now the numbers with West Coast as Cox kicks very wide. McNamara, good mark, and he'll take it right on the boundary line at left half back for West Coast.
Snared it just inside. His kick not as good as his mark. Blake for Geelong. Cats pressing again. Ball landing in no man's land. Ablett bringing it down for Burns. There's one of those goals. The margin out to 99 points. And even in the year that Geelong kicked that record score against the Brisbane Bears and beat them by 164 points, they didn't manage twin three-figure victories. In the return match, the margin was only 93 points.
We'd slipped a bit by then.
So there it is, the margin 99 points.
Fair to say that return game was a little bit heated too, Blighty, down at the Cattery.
Yeah, it was a bit, yeah.
Geelong versus Brisbane all those years ago. And we'll get another bounce.
I actually remember that 1929 season now, Tim, that I've got the book in front of me. 171.7. Of course, they didn't get beaten for the year.
Until the finals.
Correct.
It's never over till it's over.
Correct.
So Lynch forces it forward. Harley. Chance for Hunt. Gathering. And also Ling. Well held up, and again gets an inventive kick. This time taken by Prittis off to Davis. He didn't know what to go. Went to handball to Lynch. He wasn't ready for it. So found himself in all sorts of trouble. Ling, Prismal, Ablett, Ling off a step. Gains plenty of distance with the win. Armstrong did well. Steve Johnson tried to keep it in and just failed to do so. So we get a boundary thrown at half forward for Geelong.
If the Cats kick another goal, just a goal, they will equal the highest percentage achieved since 1929. Fans getting a bit excited here as though they're sensing a bit of history in front of them. Prittis working it out for the Eagles, but Geelong still a chance. Milburn, Hunt, Stokes, they're on the build. How's the placement? It's just a bit strong. And Dean Cox down the back has it covered for the Eagles. Which way to go? There it is. It's all over. It's a 99-point margin at the end. The Eagles could yet win the wooden spoon, depending on whether Melbourne can beat Richmond tomorrow. There's no doubt about the Cat status. They're the top team.